The Hach chlorine test kit is used to measure the concentration of total and free chlorine in water. Total chlorine is the total amount of chlorine in the water, including chlorine that is already combined with contaminants for disinfection. Free chlorine is just the chlorine that is remaining in a sample and is still available for disinfection. In other words, free chlorine is the chlorine that has not already combined with contaminants and is still free to disinfect. Therefore, free chlorine should always be less than total chlorine for a water sample. A Hach chlorine test kit comes with 2 test tubes with caps, a color wheel, and a set of instructions. This is your best resource as you perform these tests to remind you of the testing procedure. The kit also includes reagents for total and free chlorine. Always use the correct reagent for each test. There is one for total chlorine tests and also one for free chlorine tests. Each individual packet will be labeled with either DPD total or DPD free, so make sure you use the correct reagent. Also, make sure to use the correct water sample volume. Reagent packets are intended to be used with either 5 milliliter or 10 milliliter water samples. The sample size is always written on the bag the reagent packets come in. The tubes that come in the test kits have one line to mark 5 milliliter and one line to mark 10 milliliter. For example, we will be using a 5 milliliter free chlorine reagent in this video. If you are in the field, you can collect the sample directly from the water source. If you have brought a sample back to the office, just make sure to mix the collection container before pouring the sample into the test tube. Since we are using a 5 milliliter reagent packet, we will fill each test tube to the first line, which indicates 5 milliliters. Cap the first test tube and place it on the left side of the color wheel. This sample is used to adjust for any color that may be in the water sample. In other words, it helps make comparing the colors easier if the water sample is not perfectly colorless. For the free chlorine test, make sure the packet is labeled with DPD free chlorine. Tear or cut the packet open. Pinch the edges toward the middle to open, and make sure all the powder ends up in the test tube. Place the cap on the tube and swirl the sample to mix. If any powder is stuck in the tube, gently invert the tube a few times to mix it with the water. The pink color indicates that there is chlorine in the water sample. The intensity of pink color indicates how much chlorine is present. It's important to read the results after an appropriate amount of time. For total chlorine, wait 3 minutes, but no longer than 6 minutes to read the measurement. For free chlorine tests, wait 30 seconds, but no longer than 1 minute to read the measurement. After the designated maximum times, the test results become unreliable. So for free chlorine, we're going to wait 30 seconds to read the results. After 30 seconds, place the second test tube in the right side of the color wheel. Hold the wheel up to a light source, like a window or toward the sky. Then turn the dial on the wheel until the two colors match. Make your best judgment to match the colors. Once we've found the best match, the concentration is indicated here. For this example, we would record 1.3 milligrams per liter of free chlorine. The total chlorine test procedure is the same, except you use the DPD total chlorine reagent and you wait 3 minutes before reading the results. Again, each test kit comes with a set of directions in case you need a reminder of any of these details.